Did you know that the Dollar Tree has a clearance rack? They do. And I try to rifle through that rack anytime that I go into the Dollar Tree. They have all sorts of things, buried treasure on that rack. And you can find a lot of things to craft with that they have marked down pennies on the dollar. And so I will find a little treasure here and there, and I will snag that and I will bring it home and I will craft with it. So these are the things that I have brought home to craft with on this video. So come craft with me. For my first project, I pulled out this glass container that I had bought at the Dollar Tree off of the clearance rack. I believe I paid 50 cents for it. And I had it under my sink just to put some fresh flowers that I had gotten for different occasions in. But I had bought it because I really liked the shape. And I had thought initially when I bought it that it would be great to craft with. So vases are a dime a dozen. You can just, and they're kind of like bunnies. They just kind of go into a dark spot and all of a sudden you have 20 of them. So they just breed and collect, and I don't know, they multiply. So I really kind of hold off on buying them, but I really did like this particular shape. So I used some Waverly chalk paint to cover this in the color of ivory. And I had been wanting to craft with this particular vase because I thought it was an absolutely gorgeous shape. And so I just gave it 3 coats of the Waverly chalk paint in the color of ivory. And I let it dry really good in between each coat because I didn't want the paint to pull off. And then I used the Waverly chalk paint in the color Pool and Scallion, and I put a little dab out on the paper plate because I was going to use my little daubers that I picked up at the Dollar Tree it comes in a 3-pack with 3 different sizes, and I was going to just dab a little bit of paint, kind of dab it off, and then make some polka dots on this vase with these little daubers. They make adorable polka dots. So I just put some random little polka dots here, and some of the paint was a little bit heavy, and then some was a little bit light. That was just the most beautiful thing about this is just it's a little bit random, and it's just a little bit irregular, I think, and it just kind of came out so pretty. I had a block of craft foam, and I just started kind of piecing it together, and I used it's not going to fit the top of this perfectly, so I just kind of cut it, and then I would hot glue it and hold it until it was, really good and secure on the top. I did not put anything in the bottom because the florals that I was going to put on the top were very lightweight and I wasn't going to weigh it down. So I just put the floral foam on the top, but you can fill this with newspaper or whatever you would like. But I just chose to keep the bottom empty and then just put some lightweight florals on the top. And I secured it with some hot glue and pieced it together and hot glued the sides. And then I put some Spanish moss over the top of this to cover the green foam. And then I had some beautiful floral picks that I had picked up at the Dollar Tree. And 2 of them was all I used. And I believe it was the wisteria or just, I'm not really sure. Dollar Tree's not always that fabulous at naming their floral picks. Some of them, it was just plain old dripping floral, or it's crazy like that, but I just had some floral picks, and it just made an absolutely gorgeous arrangement, just a neutral spring arrangement for just a little side table or a coffee table. And for a very reasonable amount of money, florals don't have to be scary at all. You can just kind of whimsical arrangement. You can make one, and for a very cheap price. I mean, it was just amazing. My next craft was a little container that I picked up for 10 cents off of the clearance rack. I think at one time it had like maybe a little succulent or something in it, but the succulent was missing, and I liked the container. It says grow through it. I mean, it's so cute. And then I had some cork, some adhesive cork in my stash, and so I just took some of that adhesive cork and I folded it in half, and I'm out of frame. I'm just all over the place, and I apologize. But I just kind of folded it in half, and I made some little hearts, and I embellished the little container with that. And then I put a couple of those little hearts on this little container, but for 10 cents. I mean, you can't beat that. I thought it would look cute on a tier tray or like a little riser or something. It would just go with. And then I had some of this beautiful twine that they sell at the Dollar Tree in the coastals, with the coastal, beautiful coastal section. And so I just kind of end over end looped it, tied it in the middle, and made just a little bow and kind of fluffed it all out, fluffed the ends out. And nothing really fancy, kind of a little rustic bow. And then I put some hot glue and in the middle, and you can tell that it kind of like melted down a little bit, but that's great because that just makes a little place for my florals to kind of sit. And so I just put a little bit of hot glue, a little Spanish moss there, and then I put a little hot glue and a little Spanish moss, and then I just tucked my florals right in, kind of where my hot glue had made a little place in the middle. And and I just added my bow, and there's just an adorable little arrangement. I did pick that floral pickup at the Dollar Tree, and there's just a cute little arrangement for next to nothing from a clearance rack Dollar Tree. Craft, I picked up this little pail off of the clearance rack at the Dollar Tree for 75 cents. It had florals in it or something at one time that had gotten pulled out, so that's why it was marked down. I added some hot glue, a little bit of Spanish moss, and then I just had a stencil pack from Walmart, and I used ballet slipper by Waverly chalk paint, and then scallion and the color pool. And I just laid my little stencil down, and I added just 3 little hearts. You can embellish yours or choose not to embellish yours however you want. That's just what I chose. And then I added some beautiful florals that I had picked up at the Dollar Tree. It's kind of small, so you don't have to add a whole lot. And there's another cute little spring arrangement for next to nothing from the clearance rack Dollar Tree. I have a bonus, and I am making a tassel. You can make your tassels whatever size you want. I'm using this little paint palette, and I'm wrapping it around 10 to 15 times, and I'm using a little bit of lace, a little bit of ribbon, a little bit of bric-a-brac. I call it bric-a-brac. I don't know what other people call it. My little Oklahoma grandma used to call it bric-a-brac. So anyway, I'm just putting a little bit of this and that in it, and then I'm just kind of pulling it off and putting a little piece of twine around it, and there's a little tassel. Easy peasy. And nothing's really complicated about these little tassels, but then I'm just kind of trimming my ribbons off and getting them, and then I'm giving it just a little haircut to make sure everything is nice and even. I made 3 of them, and then I measure my twine out because I'm going to make a garland. I picked up these darling little coasters in the spring section that Dollar Tree had on display. I thought they were cute. They're cute as coasters, but I thought that they would be cute to do something else with. So I thought that they would be just adorable as a little spring garland that might transition into maybe some summer decor. And so I thought one of each would be so cute. So I just laid one of each out, and then I don't know. They're kind of a foam. They're really sturdy because they're supposed to be used as coasters, but they're just kind of a little heavier foam. And then I just kind of strung them on to the twine that I had measured out from end to end, and kind of looped a knot in how long I wanted my garland to be. And then I just looped, my tassel in, and I just did a flower and a tassel and a flower and a tassel and a flower. And I kind of looked at it and I thought, it might need just a little bit of something. So I wasn't quite sure what it, and so then I got the idea, well, I will just put a little flower. And so I just kind of took my twine and I just pulled that through the center of the flowers. And then and you're going to have to excuse, I am always got something strung all over my crafting table. I may not use it on that project, like hot glue or, I don't know, tin snips or wood glue sticks or something. I've always got something strung out everywhere, and I apologize. But anyway, I'm a messy girl when I'm crafting anyway. And I just pulled the little loops that I hadn't done anything with, and I just tied them around that other little coaster and added a little embellishment to my tassel. So this was actually a no gluing, no hot glue needed little craft, and I thought my garland was absolutely adorable, and it was so easy to make. You've enjoyed my craft, and I hope that I have given you a little hint to run to the Dollar Tree and find that little clearance section, and you can find some goodness of your own. They have anything from little signs to containers, toys, and little, I don't know, sometimes there's grocery items that have like maybe one item out of it. There's just all kinds of things that they have in their little clearance section. So it pays to take a little bit of time and dig through that. So don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell so that you know when I've uploaded my next video, and give me a thumbs up. And thank you for watching Crafts, Laughs, and Chaos. You have a great weekend.